Hey guys, it's M16. I'm back, and today I've got the Type 62 Dragon for you guys. I just bought it 30 minutes before I started doing the commentary on it, and you're seeing me equip it right now with ammo and the consumables and the equipment that I feel like you need to have on this tank to be successful. And the Type 62 Dragon is the first high tier light tank in the game. There was a lot of skepticism about the viability of this tank in the game because the World of Tanks has a very brawl-oriented meta because it's small maps, small amounts of tanks, where medium tanks rule, and then maneuverable heavy tanks come second. But the light tank is like a medium with absolutely no armor and is really fast and has a crappy gun. So you could kind of say this is like a Leopard 1 with the Leopard prototype's gun, maybe. Maybe a Leopard 1 with the Indian Panzer's gun. Because the penetration, the 145 millimeters of penetration that you do get on the tank is sufficient for tier 7, but the premium ammo is godly. It's got 250 millimeters of penetration, which is outstanding. The gun shoots 10 rounds a minute, and with the 180 alpha damage that it has, that's 1800 DPM with a bone stock Type 62 with no equipment or adrenaline pumping. But when you've got vents and a rammer and adrenaline going, you'll have around 2300 DPM, which is a 500 damage swing, which is huge for any tank. But it's especially helpful with a tank like this, where your DPM is less than that of the tier 7 medium tanks. Like the Comet far out DPMs it, because the Comet's got 160 average damage, but 15 rounds a minute on a bone stock Comet with just 100% crew. So the Comet and the T-43 far outclass the Type 62 in average damage, but the Type 62 is way more maneuverable and is way lower profile. It's got better camo rating, it's got better vision. So there are pros and cons that comes with having this tank. The accuracy like that is 0.37 at 100 meters, and so the accuracy can be a little bit of a letdown if you're trying to shoot at someone's flank from afar. But again, the premium ammo has 250 millimeters of penetration, so you won't have any trouble penetrating any tank that you're going to see. And as you can see there, the 145 millimeters of penetration is sufficient for shooting tier 6 heavy tanks like the KV2. And you really want to shoot KV2s really quickly and kill them because their 152 millimeter guns will just devastate you if they land as a shot, because it's always going to penetrate and it's always going to do like almost all of your health, like 90% of your health, like with every shot. So you really want to focus down any tank that's got the 152 millimeter gun. And with the +1 -1 matchmaking that the North American server has with patch 2.5 at least, the penetration is more than enough for pretty much any situation, especially with premium ammo. And if Wargaming decides to keep that implemented and put in all the other servers and make it an official thing, then this tank won't need to use premium ammo often at all. So the gun, decent rate of fire, not very not good, but it's doable. The firing on the move is pretty good. You guys will see that later. The accuracy can be a letdown if you're trying to snipe. Obviously, the maneuverability and the speed are like amazing because it's a high tier light tank. It goes 60 kilometers an hour. The track traverse is 58 degrees a second. The turret traverse is 48 degrees a second. So that's incredible. And the gun with adrenaline, whatever, it shoots pretty quick. It'll chew opponents apart. You're seeing me do that right now. I've got adrenaline going, and I'm just tearing apart these tanks that are just wide in the open. And this Tiger has 355 health. A bounce there because, again, 145 millimeters of penetration from a distance. It went left, and his hole was a little angled, and it hit his very angled. upper plate that any gun would have bounced off of if it had hit that, just because of the angle it was at. But this IS, again, maybe a normal tier 7 premium tank or tier 7 tank would have been able to go through the track into the hole of the IS. But again, he didn't shoot me, so it's not a big deal. You're going to see the low profile of this tank. I'm hiding behind this little mound, and this IS can't really shoot me. And I'm just waiting for him to do anything but look at me, and then he turns around. So I go around the hill, I shoot at him, switch back to AP, I get on his side, and right now this guy is 100% a sitting duck. There's no way in hell that he's going to be able to swing his gun around in time to shoot me. And even when I bounce or miss like that, he had no chance to turn around and shoot me. He was completely screwed. And 7v4 win on Rockfield, 3 kills for myself, and that was an ace tanker, and that was the very first game in the Type 62 I played. So that'll give you an idea of the type of gameplay that you need to have in order to succeed in this tank. And what you need to do is you need to go, you need to spot the first few enemies, and then you need to pull back, then you need to get on their sides, and then you just need to pick them apart from afar because you have better view range than them and you've got great camo rating. So you can abuse that and you won't be seen. And you'll see that again later in the second match. So this match did around 2,800 damage, and I got a scout medal because I spotted the most enemies, which I tier light, you're supposed to be having a high spot rate. That's what you do, that's what you're for. And so I did my job, and our team won. The second game, which is going to be now the second game I played in the Type 62, in fact, is on Castilla. It is again tier 7. These are the only 2 games I've played, so I haven't seen any tier 8s yet. But when I see the tier 8s, and if I'm trying to shoot them frontally, I'm going to need the premium ammo with the 250 millimeters of penetration to do any damage to tanks like the T-28 or the IS-3 or even the T-32 most likely, because their hull is not super strong, but it's stronger than 145 millimeters of penetration can do. So I'm going to need heat ammo for T-32s and IS-3s and uh, KB-3s and tanks like that. So right now, maybe just right now get a feel for how fast this thing goes. That Yak Panzer IV just tried to cut me off because he wanted to go left into the town, but I told everyone to go right. Maybe he was just trying to get into position for himself, but I don't know. But I was booking it, and I could hear it just as fast as the other Type 62 because obviously same tank, same speed, get there at the same time. I spot the other Type 62, his platoon mate, and then I'm like, screw you guys, I'm going home because you do not want to be on the front lines at all in this tank ever, because the 35 millimeters of hull armor and 45 millimeters of turret armor will not save you from jack. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling back and I'm getting a sniper position for Overwatch for my team, and most importantly, I am watching the flank. There aren't a whole lot of enemies spotted right now, so I need to watch the flank and make sure that we aren't being flanked by like the KV-1S and the other Cheeto and T-25-2. So I'm watching the flank right now, shooting the SU, and you're seeing the low penetration of the standard shells. And so I switched to heat. I don't want to have any trouble at all penetrating him because it's tremendous penetration. It's awesome. Love it. But the SU-152, again, like the KV-2, should be a priority target for you because if they have the 152 millimeter gun and they shoot at you, if they sneeze on you with that gun, you're going to lose 90% of your health. So you obviously don't want that to happen. And so you want them out of the game early so you don't get hit and then have to somehow manage to try and carry your team when you've got 90 hit points left, which would be a very, very bad thing to try and do. It's very difficult to pull off situations like that, especially when you don't have any armor at all to speak of. The Type 62 is a very, very high skill tank. It focuses heavily on being able to abuse spotting mechanics, being able to damage and not getting damaged. You need to be able, you can't get shot at all in this tank, or you're going to take damage. And that's just how it is, because you will, like, never bounce. If you bounce, just, like, say a Hail Mary, because that's never going to happen again. And shooting at the side of the SU-152 obviously only needs standard ammo. And the enemy Type 62 that's still alive decided to pump heat into my rear end because I shot heat at him after I was done shooting the SU-152 before I switched back to AP. So maybe that was his way of getting back at me. Maybe he just wanted to waste credits. I don't know. But I need to take care of the threat to my flank, or else I'm going to get just torn apart. And right now he's got half the health I do. So I put a shot into him. He puts a heat shell into me, and he pops adrenaline, but I don't really need to pop adrenaline because I'm pulling back, making sure I'm not getting shot in between my reload, so he can't abuse his extra 25% DPM he has over me because I pulled back. And there's a Cheeto right there, stopped to shoot, and I'm starting to give chase because he went around the building, and he backed up, and I'm firing on the move, and I hit the first shell, kind of trying to wiggle, trying to make sure I throw off his aim. And again, on the move, with 240 ping, by the way, I managed to hit him twice on the move. So that's without a vertical stabilizer as well. I've got rammer, vents, and coated optics on this tank. I don't have vertical stabilizer or gun laying drive because you don't need it. The gun handling on this is very good. And right now you're going to see me abuse the spotting mechanics with the KV-1S. I spotted him, and I put the tree between myself and him. So right now as I'm shooting, he has no chance to see me, even though I did scoot forward a little bit compared to where I was. And when I scoot forward even more is when I do get spotted, because so he backs up and he takes a wild shot trying to hit me, but it was a snapshot with the 122, and you need Stalin's hand to guide you to hit any shells like that. But yeah, the DPM I have with the adrenaline going just tore apart that KV-1S, and I set him on fire, and I tracked him right before he got on the other side of the building. And with the ammo that this thing has, you're not going to have trouble penetrating the side of a KV-1S, especially because I loaded heat just in case he was facing me. But again, I got a Top Gun that round. It was a very solid round. I played smart. I spotted him, pulled back, and then I just let the gun do its thing. And then I abused the spotting mechanics like you need to be successful in this tank. And I did 2,900 damage, and I only got a first class. Maybe I only got a first class because my previous ace the game before just made it a little bit more difficult to get the ace tanker. But oh well, not complaining. I did a butt ton of damage for tier 7, so I'm pretty happy. And overall, the Type 62 is obviously very fast, obviously very maneuverable. The gun is unless you've got adrenaline going with rammer and vents, and you've got heat leaving the barrel, then the gun is great. The gun handling is very good. The camera rating is very good. The view range is very good. Overall, it's a very, very skill-based tank. So if you think you can abuse spotting mechanics and you know how to damage enemy tanks without taking damage, then you will be successful in this tank. But if you are one of the people who goes out in the front, stays in the front, and you're just trading them shot for shot, you're going to lose, and you're not going to be very successful. And then you got to go to the forums, you're going to cry because it's underpowered, and every single tank can kill it, and yada, yada, yada. Bullcrap, you're just playing it wrong. Anyways, this is M16's World of Tanks Blitz replays. I hope you enjoyed my video, and as always, have a nice day.